podcast is, who is the enemy of the state? In some instances, whistleblowers, as you know, whistleblowers can be enemies of the state in the sense that they blow whistle against the state and exposing corruption. In most instances, some of the whistleblowers, before they blow a whistle, they benefit first. Hi, Favored. But gune intruder, where's the intruder? So I'm saying this issue of who's the enemy of the state is very broad. A person who exposes corruption against the state, it can be enemy of the state. A person who always speaks truth against the state can be an enemy of the state. Now, when we turn the coin, criminals can also be enemies of the state, because criminals, they commit crimes and that affect the community. Remember, the community is the state. Those people who are in authority, they represent the community. Those hardcore criminals install fear in the community. Then they become enemies of the state. My concern is whoever hijacked that young boy and took the vehicle, why they had to shoot him. Because most of us, we think garages are safe, as there are cameras in garages. You see, people like me, sometimes can happen that I drive from Gauteng to KZN, to and fro. Like in the near areas of KZN, at the beginning or in the middle of KZN, for instance, Newcastle, Ladysmith, and so on. If it happens that I feel that I'm tired, I'll go and park in the garage, right next to the camera, under the shades, and take a nap. And because I'm under the impression that the garages are safe. I don't see an intruder here. You guys, you're funny. That's how I am. I got some hair inside my nose, so I don't see any intruder. I have hair inside my nose. That's how I am. There's nothing. You want me to do it in life? There's nothing. I have hair. You can check. I have hair. I have hair. That's how I am. And I do shave my hair now and then, the one inside the nose. So anyway, thanks for raising it. If you can check, most of my podcast is, unfortunately, I do have hair in my nose, and sometimes they are too long, but I cut them. I now and then cut them. And yes, Sandy, Carlos, if you want to host, you must host your own podcast. If you want to host, you must do that. Okay? And I'm telling you now, I have hair in my nose, and that's nature. So I'm saying people can be enemies of the state if they commit outrageous crimes against the citizens. At the same time, the state can be the enemies of the people, whereby there are those members of the society who expose malpractice of the state, they become enemies of the state. When they are saying there will be they've just introduced a new intelligence act. Master, you don't know how to cut them. There's a small machine like a pencil, a small machine like a pencil. You use them inside. You use that machine inside your nostrils. Just like it goes together in the pack of a full pack, the one you use to the machine for cutting your hair. There is a pencil machine inside it. No, I don't want you to co-host with me, Scholar Sam. I'm fine. I'm perfect. Maybe you have your channel. You can broadcast there, and then if you want us to join, we'll join. If you want to join and pose a question, you're welcome. But don't dictate for me, please. Okay? Let us not disrespect each other. Don't dictate for me. If you want to pose, you want to host. You have your channel. Why can't you do it on your channel? Then we'll join. If you invite us, we'll join. No one forces anyone to join. I think I'm very clear on that. And I don't like to be disrupted. It's not right. I don't like to be disrupted. I'm dealing with a very sensitive topic here. Today, some in the society were remembering the death of Chris Hani. They remember the year, the date, and the place where Chris Hani was assassinated. So those who assassinated Chris Hani, they are the enemies of the state. By then, when Chris Hani was assassinated, was also regarded the enemy of the state by the apartheid government. Yes, today they were there in the East End. Some of the leaders in the South African Communist Party, they were even wearing MK Galleria. I don't know what it tells you about that. But the bottom line is, some of us and some of you are enemies of the state in one way or the other. If you expose corruption, if you expose wrongdoing by some people in the authority, you become the enemies of the state. You see, that year, Mumkulu, I was in the University of the North. I was doing my first degree. When I went there at the University of the North, it was in 1990. When I arrived there, I attempted to register for LLB. For actually, there was no LLB by that time. For B Proc or B Juris. But we were told the government of the day instructed the university to take certain number of people. They must not exceed that number. If there's a cut number, if you're out of the number they required, then you cannot do the law degree. You are forced to do another degree. I did BA my first year, and the second year I mixed with law courses, and I turned my BA into BA law. During that year, there were protests as well at the University of the North. When David Makura was the president of the SRC, the former premier of Gauteng, I was nearly shot by the security branch when we were protesting there by the gate. I was missed several times, and they ended up apprehending me. They took me to Mongers police station. When we arrived there, they could not charge me because there was nothing wrong. They saw I was carrying books, and I told them I was from the library. That is when they implicated me on shoplifting of a chocolate. Can you imagine that? In order for them to destroy my future. Carlos Sami, I think you asked who assassinated Chris Hani. TT, I think if you can Google, some of these questions really now. How old are you now, Carlos Sami? And don't you watch the news? If you Google, now use your phone now and Google, find out who assassinated Chris Hani. Because your question, to be honest with you, is very broad. So I'm not going to give you an answer that one. It's your assignment to find out an answer. Moto Libyala, but you were the animal. If Kininda and Valoye, when you said there were no intruders. Moto Libyala, that is not my case, okay? I was working on instructions. My instructions were that the accused, they were not there, meaning there were no intruders. So if I was the enemy of the state and the accused were and are enemies of the state, and also I am enemy of the state, then let it be so. But I won't hide from speaking the truth, and I won't hide from telling what the instructions were by then. And as it stands now, I will not tell what is the instructions of the accused because I'm not representing them now as it stands. But by the time when I was representing them, I was doing so based on the instructions from them. Let me go through again. Koi. I said Galaria. I said regalia. If you say I say Galaria, then it means the slip of the tongue. You cannot hold me on that. You cannot hold that against me. Okay? Understand the point? Because now this is a heated podcast based on the topic itself. Yes. Most of them, I saw one of the leaders of the South African Communist Party wearing the regalia of the Umkhonto wesizwe. The original umkhonto wesizwe. I'm not saying umkhonto wesizwe party. I'm saying umkhonto wesizwe, full stop. Drato, you were there at Don Park, Bosbeck. That's nice. Well done. Bra Abza. Bra TT, allegedly Bra Kruger says the ballistic coffers is missing. I don't know what you're talking about, Bra Abza. But what is when you say ballistic coffers, what are you talking about? Some of your questions, they must be clear and straightforward. I really don't understand what you're saying by that. Carlos, we got a free house in Don Park. When you say we got a free house in Don Park, you and who? Whom are you referring to? Because your question, your statement is vague. We got a free house, because of the rules of the government of the day. Then, after I did my BA law, I went further to study LLB in my later years at another university. Rango, who killed Senzo? I also like to know who killed Senzo, because all of us were not there at the instructions remains instructions. Whether that's the truth or not, it is something else. I thank you. You have clarified it very well. You have summed it up. Zoke Sizwe, have you ever won the case TT? I don't win the case. I become successful on a case, or I become unsuccessful. It's not my case. I'm an agent. The case belongs to the client. If I'm successful on a case, it's for the client benefit. If I'm not successful, then it is the client who suffer. It's not me who suffer. You understand that point? It's not about me winning or losing. It's not the gambling. It's not gambling. No. It's not gambling. I will answer you this way. There are those matters in which I was successful, and there are those matters in which I was unsuccessful. Whether they are in the High Court or they are in the Magistrate Court. If you can check my podcasts on my social media, whether this one or the other one, start with T. I posted a vlog where I was in a court, a regional court, busy doing a trial. So we are still busy with the trial and waiting for the outcome. Once the outcome comes out, or when the outcome is there, then I'll share it with you. I cannot blow my horn, okay? But I'll tell you now, there are those cases I was successful, and there are those cases I was not successful. Goodness A1. TT, wasn't the court supposed to start today for Senzo? With due respect, I don't even really have to stress myself about when is that case starting. You understand? Because I'm not in that case, I'm not instructed. As a member of the public, if you are interested, you're supposed to know as well. You're supposed to research. Because I have other matters to deal with. I cannot put my mind in a matter in which I don't benefit to put it on my diary when it's going to court. No, sir. I'm in that matter. I'm just like any member of the public. With due respect, I'm just like any member of the public. But the last time I heard, they were suggesting the 10th and the 15th. So if it didn't start today, it means it will start on the 15th. But you must note that I don't diarize that matter. And I don't watch or go to the proceedings of that matter now and then, because as a legal practitioner, to go to a court, it takes your time and your resources. And to also watch the proceedings, it takes your time and resources. If you have work to do, you don't have to go and watch the proceedings or go to court for nothing. Just like anyone. If you have work to do, why you must risk your work by watching proceedings? You can do your work, and after working hours, you can watch repeats on the mainstream media. What is the question of Rango? Lolo? Abzat. Oh, Charlie Daddy donation for ballistic. I don't know what's happening on that, honestly. I can't talk about something I don't know. Funga Dumela. Yeah. Maybe I was not aware, Koi, that it's not about data connectivity failing. It's network. It's network, ladies and gentlemen. I'm not using data, but it's network. If you think I'm using data, then then you need to donate for that data. To be honest with you, if you are of the view that I use data, it means you need to donate. I don't use data. I use fiber. Okay, so there might be network problems. It's not about me only. Our infrastructure in the country is not perfect, and you have seen where I am. Highly favored. How I wish to witness you interacting with Judge R. It's not about that. As I said, if you DM me, I'll tell you whereby there's a matter I'm attending and the trial is going on. And if you are around the area or you are available, you can come and spend maybe 30 minutes in the proceedings. Remember, you don't have to waste your time if you have something else to do, just to go to court and sit and watch. Time is precious. Time is money. Just like here on this platform, TikTok, they must pay us for what we do. We spend our time here. They must stop giving us peanuts. They must pay us. We spend time to be on the broadcast. And time is very important. They must treat us the same as they treat people who spend time on TikTok in overseas, in Europe, Americas, or Asia. They must treat us the same. TikTok must not be the enemy of the state. When you are enemy of the state, you become the enemy of the people. That's very important. So, in the sense of Maywa trial, in the sense of Maywa murder trial, there are those who are enemies of the state, meaning they are enemies of the people. These enemies, they may come from the people who have power. They can come from people of authority, or they can even come amongst us. They can even come amongst the legal practitioners. It will depend how you define the enemy of the state. One thing for sure, today we know that the late commander, Comrade Chris Honey, was the enemy of the state. And may his soul rest in peace. We'll always remember him. Let me go to your questions again before we take a break, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, I think perhaps the network is on and off. Unfortunately, when it breaks, I'm not even aware, but I'll keep on checking it. Clamito, can you please explain the difference between advocate and attorneys? I'll give you two explanations before I take a break. In the past, before the LPA, attorneys were the ones who are supposed to take instructions from the members of the public. And when advocates need some work, they will be appointed by attorneys based from the instructions by the client to say, appoint this advocate. Now things have changed. Advocates and attorneys, they may be on the same level, whereby advocate has a fidelity certificate and attorney also has a fidelity certificate. We have the so-called trust account advocates and non-trust account advocates. Trust account advocates, they can directly get instructions from the clients. Non-trust account advocates, they still have to get a brief from attorneys, just like in the past. You need to get a brief from an attorney to deal with the matter. But all advocates, whether in the past or in the present, they used to work for companies. Only companies can directly instruct advocates, just like the state institutions. Even though we have state attorney, state advocate. We have the public protector who's an advocate or an attorney. He can directly instruct an advocate. If a public protector needs to instruct an advocate, doesn't have to get instructions from an attorney. But now, as it stands, there are those attorneys who have the right of appearance in the High Court, and they appear alongside advocates. They compete for work. You go down to the magistrate courts, you'll see someone says he's an advocate competing for work with an attorney. If that advocate has a trust account, then it doesn't need an attorney for a brief. But now, if an advocate who doesn't have a trust account compete work with attorney, is uncalled for. It's not allowed. If you are an advocate, you don't have a trust account. You don't have to go down to magistrates courts and look for work. No. Wait there until someone approaches you. No, you don't do that. It's the attorney who can do that. The attorney can wake up tomorrow morning at 6 and go to a magistrate court and wait at the criminal case. You wait. You don't approach a client until a client approaches you as an attorney. And if you are trust account advocate, you wait until the client approach you. You don't approach a client because that will be tantamount to touting. Attorneys generally are not allowed to approach clients. Clients must approach attorneys. Once clients approach attorneys, they must inform the clients the terms and conditions as per LPA. As a client, you cannot approach an attorney and you want to consult immediately with an attorney. The attorney will explain to you, to consult, we need to open a file. You need to pay for opening of the file, for admin purpose, and consultation, which is non-refundable. Once an attorney is approached by a client, is required to open a file, draft power of attorney, and draft letter of instructions that the client and attorney must sign, and then start consulting. Before even you start consulting, the client must pay your consultation fee, the one between you and the client you agree upon, depending on the matter you are dealing with. The more serious is the matter, urgency of the matter, complication of the matter, the higher the charges. Nomkosi Maseko, the media questioned the minister about what? Janelle underscore MD, you have another fish to fry, Wena TT. Which fish now? Which fish must I fry? Which fish must I fry? Judicial pick. Zonki says, what is judicial pick? I don't know what you mean by that. What do you mean pick? Come clear. I don't really understand. I want to help you, but it's first time I see that kind of a word. I don't want to lie to you. I don't want to claim that I understand PWEK. I don't know what you mean by that. Maybe you can help me. Jukes. Lawyers never give direct answers. You are a typical competent lawyer indeed. No, I don't know. I don't understand what you mean by that, Jukes. In law, there's no wrong answer. Nomkosi Maseko, when you filed that application, did you not have other matters then? I don't know which application you're talking about. I file applications now and then. Even today, I filed another application. I don't know which application you're referring to. You see, your question is not clear. You must come up clear with your question. Which application you're talking about, Nomkosi? I want to answer you, please. Come clear. Fela P. Jeffrey, yes, they must donate. Amat. Titi, I like your submission for this evening. Amat. Okay, thank you. Abza, I heard that you and Mr. Ramosepele are no longer close, and I used to see with him at Church Square. No, come on, man. Abza, I don't think you saw me. That's a mistaken identity, and it's very dangerous. You've never seen me with Sipo anyway, unless in court on that particular day or the other day if I'm in that court. I've never been close to Ramsipili. I don't work with Ramsipili. I'm not a friend to Ramsipili. I'm a colleague. Please, Bra Abza. No, don't do that. Maybe you make mistaken identity. I don't do that. I don't. It's not my friend, and he will never be my friend. He's just a colleague. Okay? I've never walked with him side by side, but we have seen each other in court or outside the court buildings, not to walk side by side going same direction. Nope. Zanele MD, you have Zanele underscore MD. You have turned a new page, TT. I like the sight of you. Which page now, Zanele? I'm honest. I give honest answers. I've never hawked. The only person I will say I used to hawk with him is Stefo. We used to hawk together, of course, going to eat lunch together. Okay? Going to consult together. Yes, Stefo. I've never hawked with any of those legal representatives who are in court presently in this matter, except Mshololo. When we used to be together in the matter, at one point we worked together towards Peki on by the street of the court next to Pick and Pay. As for others, I only met them in court or in the corridors. Even though I must tell you now, Advocate Munisa was with him in the University of the North. When he was doing B-Proc or B-Juris, I was doing BA Law. And before he came in this matter, he approached me outside the court building to say, TT, can you give me one client I assist here? And I told him, I cannot give you a client unless the client says I must do so. You understand? Because by that time, I knew Advocate Munisi as a prosecutor. Advocate Munisi used to be a prosecutor. He used to do high-profile cases, and he used to have security details. I don't know what happened. Then he is now private, but I know him very well. We used to play football together at the University of the North. He used to play for a soccer team called Muchachos there in the University of the North. I used to play for the Beds and also Masters. But Masters, I didn't play for long, but there was also Minister, I think, also played for the Beds as well at one stage. So I know Advocate Munisi from the University of the North, and also the home place. I know which side of South Africa does Advocate Munisi comes from, and I won't disclose where, but I know because I used to see him. And user 234. Mr. TT, do you think Senzo Mayua case will end? At one point, something must come to an end. That's a direct translation from my language. Safilin Sashola. I just want to accept the someone who made the request to accept. Hi, Miss Tang.
Hi, Titi. I'm here. I'm listening to you. You can go ahead. I'll moderate.
You come when you're about to knock to wrap up.
I appear when you're
Praabza,
about to
I'm trying
finish.
to, Praabza, I think I connected you there. I invited Praabza.
All right. Okay. I'll mute and then I'll assist with moderation.
No, you don't have to mute. It's not a need for you to. I don't know how you will manage it, but I'm not saying you must mute. But if you need to mute, then you can do that. I don't know how these things work, whether you must mute or what.
All right.
Yeah,
I'll
but
moderate.
I saw someone from USA. I hope you want to ask Silas things or issues. If you can see him again, accept him, invite him,
All right.
and hear what
For
he
now,
says.
there's no one requesting. I have sent a request to Bra Abza, who wanted to
I
be
also
on.
sent it because he sent a message to say, may I please accept him?
Let's hope he comes
So,
on.
yes, so what I'm trying to say is, ladies and gentlemen, all of us at one stage, we must watch our backs because you must be able to do things that will shake other people. As a person, you cannot have all people who like you, and you cannot have all people who hate you. It's both sides of the coin. You cannot be a favorite to everyone, and you cannot be an enemy to everyone, or you cannot be not everyone can be against you. Let me put it that way. And not everyone can like what you do. So you need to stay focused on what you're doing. As long as you do it within the confinements of the Constitution, within your rights, and you respect the rights of others. When you have a right to exercise whatever is your rights, and you have the duty to respect the rights of others. That's how I do things. And we must always keep community guidelines. We don't have to play a play. We must always play the ball. It's unfortunate, yesterday, our women's soccer team could not even score one goal. Basically, it means that they could not score one goal in 150 minutes because in Nigeria, the Falcons were leading 1-0 from the first half. It went into the second half. They could not equalize in some few extra minutes, and they came in the country. South Africa, they played here. All 90 minutes, they could not convert a single goal. The only problem I saw yesterday on the soccer game is that the first half, the South African women's soccer team, they were playing as if they were Bafana Bafana. They were playing as if they were senior South African soccer team. They were doing too much passes around. They were not going forward with the ball. So anyway, they are not the enemies of the state. We support them, and we wish them good luck for the future. I just try to go through the questions.
I can help with the questions, Titi. There's
They say
one.
pushing go at Marilyn. Do you think he's aware how to choose gifts targets? No, I did choose gifts target last time, but I mean, sometimes I just go on. If they come, they come. There's a question from Abza Triple T. Do you think it's fair for the legal aid to pay for all accused excluding one? I can't say it's fair or it's not fair because there are requirements that they must be met. And you must note that initially, legal aid was paying for accused 1 and 2 when SIPA was representing them. And SIPA brought in Mgomezulu. Only to find out Mgomezulu doesn't have a contract with legal aid. And it might have happened that SIPA never informed legal aid that they are bringing in Mgomezulu. Hence, they could not pay him. Now, accused one terminates the mandate of Ramsipili, which means that it terminates the mandate of legal aid. Then if he terminates the mandate of legal aid, how can the legal aid pay for him? Because he terminated the mandate. Then they had to get private instructions. However, that doesn't stop accused number one from applying for legal aid again. And they will determine his application. They will look at all facts before they can give him a legal representative. In the event that accused number one apply for legal aid, it can happen that they give another legal representative to deal with the matter, or Mr. Mgwemuzulu proceeds. It will depend on the facts or circumstances pertaining to that application, which is between the legal aid and the legal representative they will be dealing with regard to accused number one. Remember, the legal aid doesn't represent a legal representative. Legal aid represents an accused person. It is the prerogative of legal aid to choose whom must represent the accused. Legal aid gives instructions to the legal representative, and legal aid represent the accused. Meaning, legal representative cannot dictate to legal aid. It can happen that legal aid says, okay, for example, where there is a matter, there's 5 accused in a matter. And these 5 accused, they have different versions. Each and every one has their own defense, and which is a conflict, legal, and all of them, they want legal aid. So it will mean that legal aid will have to appoint each and every attorney for per client. It can be one person working for legal aid as a legal representative from legal aid. Then legal aid will appoint other 4 private attorneys. If there is a free legal aid attorney, then they will bring along that legal aid attorney to represent one of the accused, and the others, they might appoint private legal attorneys from their database. In order to get instructions from legal aid, there are certain requirements you must meet, and you must also be on that database. In the event that you're not on database, legal aid can bend back on that in certain instances and utilize an attorney, or for that legal representative who's not on their database. So it's not the doom end of it for accused number one. He can still make an application to legal aid in the event that the private funds run out.
And TT, if I can also comment from my, street view, layperson view, I felt that during defense, accused one didn't get, prime attention. I think more attention was paid to accused two's case. So in a way, he could have felt a bit shadowed, a bit forgotten. More, the lawyers asked more questions about accused two's case, mainly because accused two could remember landmarks, could remember a lot, and his case was a little bit more straightforward. So in a way, I guess he had it's normal to feel a bit dissatisfied and want to get the best counsel in that scenario.
Okay, before I answer you, let me answer Pra-Abza. They take instructions from legal aid, then I see why they don't have questions for witnesses. On that point, Pra-Abza, I cannot comment. You must note that legal representatives take instructions from clients. Okay? Not from legal aid. Legal aid only appoint attorneys on behalf of clients. And with regard to your question or comment, Ms. Tang, it's not, I don't think so. I think if is the state strategy. They only want to pin everything on accused number 2 in actual fact. I think sometimes if there's not much said about an accused is better. So they're trying to pin everything on accused number 2 and put accused number 2 under pressure. You understand? End of the day, maybe they of the view that accused number 2 will bust. So I don't think legal aid did not consider accused number 1 as compared to number 2. I think it's the strategy from the state to pinpoint and try to suppress accused number 2.
Okay, makes perfect sense. Okay.
Thank you. I don't know, highly favored. Responding to questions gets not even on that case. I don't know what you're saying there, highly favored. Palumi, the confession which was read from accused number 1 and 2, all talks about Kaylee. So why they didn't arrest her? First things first, Palumi. The confessions, they are not from accused 1 and 2. You must know that. They are from those witnesses. Those witnesses who read them. Those statements, affidavits, they belong to those witnesses. And the accused deny making such averments on those affidavits or statements which were read onto the record. Most importantly, we must all know that confession of one accused is not applicable to another co-accused. Even if they can bring Ms. K on this 636, her defense will say, no, the confessions of accused 1 and 2, they are not applicable to me. Hence, the most important thing that they must charge her on 375. Thank you. Zanzi underscore soccer 11. Oh, you're playing soccer 11 a lot. Why did you say accused did not know each other when you left? No, you see soccer 11. You think this is soccer 11. I didn't say that when I left. That was my instructions. That was my instructions, and I work on the instructions from the clients. It doesn't come from me. It was instructions. I thank you. Okay, 185, which witnesses now, TT? The other person was asking about confessions right into the record of accused 1 and 2. I said, no, those confessions are from the witnesses of the state. Remember, firstly, it was Kininda who read the affidavit into the record. And then after trial within trial, the first 2 witnesses read 2 different affidavits which they mentioned Ms. KK. Thank you. Communication between Kelly and accused. That is upon the defense how to deal with it. And also how to attack it, how to poke holes. They must deal with that evidence. And they must make sure and test how that evidence was obtained. Okay? Because they were not there when that printout or evidence was obtained or come up with. How did they manufacture it on paper? And they don't know what is the conversation between the accused and Ms. KK. It's the duty of the defense to attack that evidence. I think, Rango, I answered to that one. Also, Lungiel, I answered. Bra Titi, please, for what is that, Bra Abza? What do you mean? What do you mean, Bra Abza? You know, the legal profession is a jungle. It's a talk, eat a talk. Walala wasala. Is the survival of the fittest. It's animal farm. Everyone for himself. It is therefore who brought Ramsipili behind my back. And others came also behind my back. They approached the accused at prison, unethically so, and consulted with them. He considered, therefore, in one of the interviews that he brought Ramsipili behind my back, and he told Ramsipili to come and assist me. However, Ramsipili told the court that he's taking over. So he made the bed, then he must lie in it. Okay? I try to help where I can, but I cannot cross the line. If someone doesn't need to be helped, why you must help that person? I think everyone understands me now. And it takes resources, time, and energy to help someone. Just like when you are a legal representative, you go to court. It takes your time, energy, and resources. Just like now when we are on the podcast, it takes time, energy, and resources. Hence, I'm saying this TikTok, they must pay us. This app, they must pay us. They must treat us the same as they treat other people in other countries outside Africa. Because it takes our time, resources, and energy. I was supposed to stop it after an hour. Now it's more than an hour, but I'm still proceeding. I even miss calls. I drop those calls because I'm busy here. So you must always bear in mind as Africans, time is very important. Time is money. Time needs resources. For a typical example, if you have a project and someone calls you, he wants you to assist you with something, that project you are busy with brings food on your table, pays your bills, and the person who wants you to help, you're not going to be able to pay the bills and bring food on your table when you're helping that person. What do? You must deal with the project that brings food on your table first and finish with it. At your own spare time, when you have that time, then you can attend to that other person who needs your help free of charge. It doesn't make business sense to say, no, I leave this project which gives me money. I'm going to attend that project which doesn't bring anything on the table. Doesn't make business sense. Gone are those days they say legal profession is not business. It is business. We pay for membership fees. We pay for fidelity fund. We pay for good standing certificate. Whatever we demand from LPC, we pay for it. You pay for board exam. You pay for, you know what everything we do. You pay for a membership card. To have your card, the e-card. As a legal practitioner, you must have an e-card. You pay for it. Audits, you pay for audits. Membership fee, you pay. Certificate of good standing, you pay. Board exam, you pay. Whatever we demand or we ask from the LPC, we pay. Then if you don't generate funds, how are you going to pay that? Then how do you go and attend other things that doesn't bring resources on your table? Whereas you have those things that can bring resources on the table to attend. You leave them and you attend that one. That will pull you back in actual fact. In some instances, if you are unable to pay your membership fees, LPC can write you a letter of demand, can stop you from practicing by mere fact that you are unable to pay membership fee. Who is the enemy of the state here? LPC does not report to the legal practitioners. Since it was formed, I've never had an AGM of LPC. LPC reports to the parliament, which makes it as if it's a parastatal. So it means all these monies we pay, the financial reports of the LPC goes to the parliament. Who's being squeezed
TT,
here?
I think your network is up and down a little.
Who's being squeezed? Legal practitioners. And people must not get me wrong. I'm not saying we must not have it. It will fall down. Whatever we do, resources are required. I thank you. Is there any question, Ms. Tang, before we wrap up?
No, there's no question. But guys, let's tap. There are a few questions. I'll check the comments. Let's tap, guys, and like and support the live. Let's close it at 25,000.
Chimange says, Chimange says, I put it to Mr. Triple T. What if Senzo killed himself by mistake? Chimange, you know, my answer is simple. All of us were not there, but we need the truth. We need the truth. Okay? They will look at all evidence. If you say so, if someone got shot, why you don't immediately call the police or you call the ambulance? You take time to do that. Why? Why you have to take time to do that? Why, if someone is being shot, whether by mistake or he shot himself by mistake or shot by someone by mistake, or the intruders came in and shot and ran away, why you took time to call the police and ambulance? Instead of doing that, you start calling other people. Why? That's the first thing you must ask. That's why I'm saying the Honorable Court, when dealing with matters, they look at all the evidence presented to it. If you are purport to be a victim, when the police, they escort you to where you stay, after you enter your apartment, you don't allow the police to come in. Instead of allowing the police to come in, you tell people to switch off the lights and then you make a call. You make a call to someone and suddenly the police make a U-turn. But in inverted commas, you say you are a victim. Why? You see, a court, when dealing with the matter, it looks at all the facts. It doesn't look at only certain facts. And it also looks at the demeanor of the witnesses. It's very important.
There's a question, TT, that says, is it possible for an expert like the ballistics expert, I think that we heard of would come, is it possible for an expert to cross-examine another expert, or does it stand as a part of the witnesses for the defense if they are to bring their own ballistic expert? Can you comment on that?
So I think the network is kind of a little bit bad, but I'll try to answer. Experts of the state are examined by the state and cross-examined by the defense. If the defense bring their own experts, they'll lead that expert. They'll put the expert in the box. And when they finish, the state will cross-examine. And when the state finish, the defense will re-examine. There's no way an expert can cross-examine another expert in court. But They'll give differing versions and experiences, and it is the court to determine which one is the correct one based on all facts before it. Is it fine?
It's fine. It was on the comments, so I guess the person is answered.
Thank you. Tiamo Billy, Mpumika Mayisa, Momela was corrupt. No. Ladies and gentlemen, you don't say that. As I said, don't play the player, play the ball. You cannot say that, especially as I did explain to you, must respect each other. Is there any finding to that effect? We just need to watch what we say and remember your right to say whatever you want to say and the duty to respect the rights of others. And I don't think there was any finding to that effect. Tiamo, Billy, thank you. Tiamo, Billy, he treated them bad. Yes, you see, now you're talking. I do accept that the Honorable Judge treated us bad. You know, he treated me bad to such an extent that the accused were lured by other attorneys. Even the way I was doing bail application, it took several months for outcome of the bail to be released. And in the minds of the accused, they thought now they will not get justice if I represent them. Hence, they were managed to be, they got convinced easily. They got convinced easily by those other practitioners who approached them behind my back. Nomkosi Maseko, you are still passionate about this case, Mr. TT. It's not about being passionate. If people ask questions, I'll answer. I cannot put all my energies in one case, especially if I don't get paid and I don't get resource benefits from it. If people ask questions, I'll answer. But the fact remains, something went wrong when other legal representatives came to record, which was unethical. I even reported the same to the LPC. Lohan Ratsumi, I saw one of your videos on YouTube. Are you allowed to record in court during proceedings? Of course, isn't so the media is also allowed to record in court. And in this instance, I don't record anyone else but me. And note that in future, if you have not joined the platform where you saw that the proceedings, or you don't join in this platform, which can cost you less than 20 rand per month, you won't be able to see my appearances in court because I'll put them under flock and send them to those who are members. Hi. Oh, it's you, Mr. You're greeting Itu. And in 185, Ed Ghost, I'm repeating TT's words. I have got no issue with Dave. Yes, you are right. I don't have issue with Dave, but I have an issue with how he do things. How he does things, that's where I have a problem with. Thank you. Sia, do you think Rata is the right judge for this case based on how he treats the defense team? What happened between us with Honorable Judge Maumela? It happened and we were not happy. We reacted the way we reacted. In this instance, it is up to the legal representatives to make a decision. According to me, in some certain instances, the judge indeed tries to show the legal representatives direction and show them the way. Is rather impartial as a presiding officer in the case. Is he doing to Umbo what Momela did to you? Nomkosi Maseko, on that regard, as I said before, it is up to the defense team who appear before a honorable judge to make a call. And however, as a reasonable person, I will say the honorable judge, at some instances, he does try to assist representatives of the defense and show them the way. Ahmad, where is therefore, I think he's still in prison.
Yeah. And while you check for questions, TT, hi, TT. While you're checking for questions, I'm asking the viewers to please support and follow our best gifter, who's Mam Govela. Please follow her and please continue to tap the live.
Thank you, Mam Govela. Thank you, Mam Govela. I'll do so. There's a question. The ghost who goes to say, do you think accused of ACA will get bail? That's a difficult case, to be honest with you. With regard to the issue of bail, it is hanging in balance. It's very tricky. If they do get bail, they will be with strict conditions. And there's a likelihood some might get bail and some might not get bail. It points to the direction of 105 capital letter A and or 204 witness. It's not an easy case. That's why the state can also get those options of 204 and 105 capital letter A. Papi, Titi, if you were the judge, could you find the accused persons not guilty? You see, your question is vague. Which accused? There are so many matters before the court. If you are referring to the matter of the murder of Senzo Mayua trial, my honest opinion is that before I make a ruling, I'll have to look at all the facts presented before the court and look at the demeanor of the witnesses. The demeanor of the witnesses also plays a role in the ruling of the court. And the all evidence led before the court. That's why it's very important that the members of the public must understand that the court cannot just make an haphazard ruling. It looks at all which is presented before it. Ghost, Devon is full of camera, but none produce. I don't know what you mean. Of course, you remember that area where the alleged incident took place is an entertainment area, and they cannot prevent other people from going there. Any person can go there because it's an entertainment area. Each and every person has a right of movement, and when you're exercising your right, you have the duty to respect right of movement of other people. So that's what I'm saying. If they might get the bail, if they get bail, it will be under strict conditions, and it can happen that they cannot get bail. Or some get bail and others don't get bail, whereby the state will be looking at 204 witness or 105 capital letter A plea. Domikosi Maseko, accused 4 should get bail, though, Mr. TT. Which accused 4? Which matter are you talking about? Even in the Aga and Tips murder case, there's 5 accused. Even in this accused of Fleur, who are going to appear tomorrow, it seems as if there are more than 4 as well. If you are referring to the sense of Miwa murder trial, if the accused didn't have convictions, maybe he was going to get bail. The only issue here with accused number 4, in the sense of Miwa murder trial, is that he's a convicted accused.
Yeah, I think she's referring to the AKA case. She puts it in the chat that I mean the AKA case.
Okay. Yeah, I think on that point, it will be in the hands of the court to determine if the interest of justice permits that the accused gets bail, and the accused have shown exceptional circumstances. Remember, the proof here, the burden of proof is upon the accused and is very high. The standard is high. Exceptional circumstances must be shown. And exceptional circumstances differ from one case to another, from one accused to another. For example, my exceptional circumstances can be that I am employed. If I don't get bail, I'll lose my work. I have children to take care of them. If I don't go to work, children will suffer. The court must look at the best interest of the children. And, for instance, another one can say, no, I'm running a business. If I don't get bail, my business will suffer. Also, all kind of facts that you can present them in your favor. And they must be exceptional. They must not be the same as ordinary facts. And the fact that they were not arrested at the same day of the incident, it is also exceptional by itself. So it will depend on the Honorable Court. Remember, the purpose of the bail is not to punish the accused. The purpose of the bail is to secure the attendance of the accused. The court can say, no, okay, accused number 4, your bail is set at 100,000 rand on the condition that you surrender your passport, on the condition that you report 3 times a week at the police station, on the condition that if you leave the province of KZN, you inform the IO, on the condition that if you change your residence, you move to another place, you inform your IO. Should you break any of these conditions, your bail money can be forfeited to the state and you get arrested again, put back in the cells. So the court will balance the issue of bail with the conditions. If the court grants bail, there might be strict, very strict, I'm saying very strict conditions. Right, also the defense, they will call Makubo again in the stand, Mr. TT. I don't know, to be honest with you, because I'm not involved in the strategy of the defense case. It's up to them what they want to do. Palumi, Mr. TT, may you please give us a hint what inside the docket 375 in the Senzo case? I cannot say much, but what can I say is docket 375 is a twin to docket 636, and the defense will disclose that in court. As it stands now, it is a twin to 375. So the docket 375 is a twin to 636, which is already before the court. And to my understanding, the defense will present docket 375 should the state not object, and also not the court disallow them. Lohang Ratsuma, yes, Ntanzi can apply for bail on new facts. There must be complete different facts from what he presented previously. GSM. RT, the charges on AG are not based on doctrine of common common purpose. You know, the common purpose is very tricky. It might be based on the doctrine of common purpose because sometimes they don't read section in the Criminal Procedure Amendment Act that deals with they are on the chart sheet. You might pick up that one of them deals with the doctrine of common purpose. They might not say it directly as it is say doctrine of common purpose. They might just cite an act and a section. That's a of the indictment or the charge. The charge is being read to the accused, and you explain to the accused the consequences of those charges. Thank you, Mama Kulo. Thank you, Pami. So you look at those things in the charges. That's why it's very important that before a matter can go to trial, an indictment or charge sheet is given to the defense. Because the court will ask you that, did your lawyer explain this to you? Did the lawyer explain to you to the competent verdict? Did the lawyer explain to you to the alternative charge? Did the lawyer explain to you in terms of Criminal Procedure Act 104 as amended? Did the lawyer explain to you that? The doctrine of common purpose. Did the lawyer explain to you? So it's very important before the trial proceed, you are in possession of the indictment or the charge sheet. Unlike in the sense of Mayweather murder trial, whereby documents they have been presented to the defense piece by piece or trip by trip. Lerato, do you think that the guys who are arrested at Swatini, they are involved in the other case, Mr. TT? I don't know. I cannot make a comment on that one until they are before the court. Thank you. Papi, this confession corroborates Stein's evidence. I don't know what you mean by then. How does it corroborate it? And remember, that statement was not written by Ntanzi. It's very important, you must note that. They might say it's a confession by Ntanzi, but it was not written by Ntanzi, and Ntanzi denies voluntarily making such confession. Thank you, Lugelo. That's a good answer. They'll have to prove that beyond reasonable doubt. The state. Ntombi, President, the crime scene by the cell phone expert. And Nomkosi Maseko, accused number 5, is placed at the crime scene by the cell phone expert. No, it's not the cell phone expert as yet. Remember, that is bail application. It is the affidavit presented by the investigating officer. The cell phone expert still need to be called in the trial and be cross-examined with regard to that report. And remember, that place is an entertainment area. They cannot bar people from going there. Anyone can go, including the accused or any other person for that matter, who the state they want to implicate in this matter. That is an entertainment area. I thank you. The purpose of the defense is to discredit the state case, to show a mere doubt in the state case. Lungelo, is there a weapon on 375? Let's wait and see when they present 375. It's fine, Nomkose, even Papi is lying. Let's say not is lying, but I explained to him, whatever they have, the main point is that Durban area is an entertainment area. Any person can go there. And if there is such statement, the defense still have to test it through the person who made it. Vela P. Jeffrey, remember the last word I like from you, under duress. Under duress. Under duress. Perhaps I know I've not seen a HISPEC statement because the state could not bring it by that time. Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, the app, TikTok says, great job. You have been live. You have gone live for 90 minutes. Don't forget to take a break. You see, now they're reminding us that we must call it a quit. Ms. Tang, can you see that? They say we have gone live for 90 minutes.
Yeah, I see that. There's I don't know, from Ghost here.
Lungelo, Utinu Ghost, one if I guess 375 said the shooter was in the house. No, you have seen, I don't think you are correct, Lungelo. You have never seen 375. You have never seen 375. Even if it says so, but if you think so, okay? Remember, the purpose of 375 is defeating the ends of justice. And 375 will assist a lot. That's why I'm saying they are twins. 375 and 636. Let's wait for 375 to be before the court. Let's not put the cart before the horse. Yes, 375 says the shooter was in the house. That's why I'm asking Lungelo, did you see the contents of 375? Even if 375 says so, even if 375 says so, let us not put the cart before the horse. In this matter, remember, this matter is de novo, okay? This matter has started de novo. Let's leave everything what happened before Honorable Judge Maumela. In this matter, they have not yet presented full contents of 375. Let us give them a chance to do so. Then we'll take it from there. No, I didn't. I don't want to be arrested. Oh, Lungelo, don't arrest you. Why did he arrest that man from that forum? You see that other forum? That other forum. If they arrest you, then they must arrest that man from that forum. And if they arrest that man from that forum, they must arrest him with the person who gave him access to the docket. Ghost. Hey, Ghost. Where's Zenja? Hey, Ghost. Miss Tang.
Maybe it was a mistake. I don't know. He or she requested twice, and this is the second time. Unless it's a mistake.
No, it's not mistake. Ghost want to say something. I know. He's gone. Yeah. Okay, we'll try to invite him again.
Okay.
Thabo Mtshweni. Yay. Thabo Mtshweni, Mr. Mgomezulu asked Ms. Koronje if she was taking a confession or a statement. Can you explain that? No, you got it upside down. You got it vice versa. Mr. Mgomezulu put it to her that you were taking a confession. And the Honorable Court said, no, you cannot say that. It's the court that must say that. And with due respect, I differ with the Honorable Court on that point. It's already dealt with. I can comment on it. I differ with the Honorable Court on the following reasons. Ms. Koronje, whoever Mrs. or Ms. Koronje, was phoned by a Duplessis in that court to say, come and take a confession. That someone wants to make a confession. And when Kronje came, she knew already why she was coming to that office. To make things worse, whatever she wrote down is illegal, inadmissible, because she didn't rope. It was her evidence that she didn't put her gown on. She was on civilian clothes. So she was not on official duty. That is the reason why it pushed the IO to go further and try to get other so-called confessions which were not there anyway, which the accused they deny. Ya lungelo uzawosha ndoda. Amala ungawari zokhipha. Zokhipha ngebheli le channel ezokhipha. Bakhona amadoda nabomama bazodonate zokhipha bakhuleka. Ayeke ubosho le iqiniso phela wena ufuna ukwazi ngithi. Hey, yeah, ayeke bakubophe wiwali. Fanele bamlande lo mlungu loya athole i-contents ama-docket before, even if ama-legal representatives athola le contents ama-docket ya 636. I hope I did manage to speak Zulu there. Miss Tang.
You're doing great.
Thank you. Ghost, yes, you're right. Not rata, ke rata vele. Hey, when the ghost. Mamkulu, Dumelo Mazana and Zandi saw Mtanzi in the house. No, I tended to differ because they gave different versions, those people, honestly. Especially those other two witnesses after trial, within trial. Did you hear what they say? Why isn't every person, when there's a gunshot, they run out and come back? It shows that all these statements were written by one person. And as it stands, according to my instructions by then, the accused were not there. Okay? They were not there at the scene. And it is up to the defense in the present trial, according to how they get the instructions and how they will put it to the court and the witnesses. Miss Mamkulo, Lungelo. There's no need for someone to be famous when there's no money. Or after Lungelo Abwasha, you will be famous. Oh, I get it. So, but he must be famous with money. Resources are very important. You know, resources are very important for everything. Allegedly. Thank you. GSM, there's no such video, but I just put it to you just now, today. The podcast that I said, this point is there, but it's not like it's a video in court or what. It's what I raise on the podcast. Ntombi Nomkhosi, sorry for that, Masego was Ntuli placed on the crime scene, Mr. Triple T. Please correct that by B person. Was Ntuli placed on the crime scene. You see, are you referring to the present trial before Honorable Judge Mokwashe? It's up to the defense to discredit whatever the state is saying and whatever the state is alleging. And accused number 5 is represented by Advocate Mushololo. If there are such utterances Advocate Mutshololo must deal with them. As it stands now, I cannot say much. Okay? If you are able to recall what was said by the previous witnesses of the state with regard to accused number 5, then it is the duty of the defense of accused number 5 to discredit them. Thank you. Yeah, Mamkulu Nyaguzwa Kota, that thing can be fabricated. They can manufacture their evidence very well to protect themselves. Abza, I hear that the city property is denying that they opened a case against them. So if city property is denying, then they must scrap that charge. They must scrap that charge. It's easy like that. If the state doesn't have a victim, a complainant on a particular charge, the charge doesn't stand. The charge will not stand in the court of law. GSM, I think I dealt with that point. Some of the legal representatives who are appearing now in this matter. Ghost, if I caught in shop for not paying water, what are the penalties? It depends what you want to do with the accusations against you. It depends with you what you want to do with the accusations against you and whether you have a defense. But remember, a charge of theft of a bottle of water, it will never be the same. The severity of a charge of theft of bottle of water, it will be not the same with the charge of theft of a motor vehicle. But you'll make money after with Netflix and issue. Oh. So you must make a documentary like these people they did from the house. Papi, I disagree with you, TT. You will also run if you see gunshots being fired. It is reasonable. I don't disagree. Let's agree to disagree. And I think Ms. Thang will wrap up now. It's like 10 to 9. We'll wrap up with this comment from Papi.
Okay, yeah.
I mean, even the accused who came to rob, accused themselves, according to the state, the accused who came to rob, after the gunshot, the same accused ran away and comes back. Oh, doesn't make sense to me, Papi. The same accused. Did you hear the statement of those witnesses? Did you hear the statement of Koronje? Testimony. They gave me a gun. They came with a gun. They never gave me a gun. I didn't have a gun. I have a small gun in my pocket. What the contradiction? What was she trying to do there? And they said, all of us were going to kill the deceased. We're going to shoot at the deceased. How? According to the state case, did they all of them shoot at the deceased? According to the state case, no. According to the testimonies of the state witnesses who were in the house, as they allege, only one person had a firearm, according to the case, which the accused deny. The accused deny being in that house. The accused deny being in that vicinity. Lungelo plus Lerato plus. Okay, next please doesn't sleep on the job. The minute I come up, they will be there. They will be here. Papi, our man. In front of us. In tower, same tower, not at the crime scene. You must know that the hostel in First Loras is not far from the crime scene. Even the people in the house, you can pass the hostel and throw away the cell phone or switch it off. Even when they apparently took the deceased to hospital, they might have passed the hostel. You must be able to crack the state case, show inconsistencies in the state case. It was the testimony of Madlala that Miss Keke was driving on a high speed. Okay? On a high speed, on the humps. When they arrived at the hospital, the victim was declared deceased at arrival. It is the testimony of the expert that with that gunshot, the deceased must have only lived less than 3 minutes, if it's not 5. It was the testimony of the expert that the shot was at close range. It is the testimony of the witnesses who were in the house that on the face of it, they never immediately after the gunshots took the deceased to hospital. He was heavy. We could not carry him. We were trying to pull him and carry him, put him in the car. A reasonable person, a court will take a judicial notice that when a human being's body is heavy, it means that that person has passed on. For crying loud, the deceased was a soccer player. We don't expect soccer players to be so heavy like me when they're still breathing. But the mere fact that they could not even carry him, it points to the fact that the deceased had already passed on. And the fact that after the shots, several phone calls were made. And the crime scene was cleaned. The crime scene, why it had to be cleaned. It leaves a lot to be desired. Who is the enemy of the state? The citizens, some people in the communities who fight corruption, who stand for truth, who are not corrupted, who can't be corrupted, who are uncorruptible, they can be the enemy of the state. Some people who are in positions of authority can be enemies of the state. Whether they are discrediting the state or they are crediting the state. Whether they are in positions of authority fighting corruption against and being against any corrupt activities, they can be enemies of the state. Or they promote corruption. They can be enemies of the state. In the democratic society, the state is the people. That witness who want to go or enter into 208 with the state in the matter of Nezeviwe Mapisa Tragula can be the enemy of the state, that witness. In the sense that he robbed the state and with money. He got money from the state with a unlawful tender. Then that witness, that whistleblower, must pay back that money to the state. It's not the state, it is the people's money. That money doesn't belong to a particular political organization. It belongs to us, the state. We are the state. So this whistleblower benefited wrongfully so. If it is the same whistleblower who approached a public servant, and once first transaction was made, that whistleblower should have blown the whistle there and then. Why has to wait for more than one transaction? Therefore, the same whistleblower unlawfully enriched himself or herself. The consequences of this case of Nezeviwe is that state resources will be lost in the form of unauthorized expenditure or wasteful expenditure. So the SIU, the FIU must go after the assets of this whistleblower if is unable to refund the state monies they paid for that unlawful contract. And then it will cost the state to re-advertise that contract again. So, ladies and gentlemen, can you see the consequences of corruption? It leads to more loss of resources. I thank you very much. I thank you. Thank you for being together for such a long time. And I appreciate Ms. Tang. I think we are done for the night.
Yeah, we're done for the night. Scarlo, why are you asking if Titi is single? Are you asking for someone? We're done for the night. It was a lovely session.
Yes, Scarlo, I'm single. I still have to make something to eat. Look at what's the time now. I think I'll just eat 2 slices of bread. You know, the problem with life, if you are not moneyed, you cannot get what you want, Scarlo. You know? Yeah, Miss Tang, thank you very much. Thank you, everyone. Thanks for participation, and I really appreciate so much. Keep the good work by respecting each other, keeping the community guidelines, and keep the conversation robust. As long as we debate in a proper manner and respectful manner, I'm happy. We don't have to agree in each and everything. As long as we debate respecting each other, it's perfect for me. I thank you. Bye, Mr. Tan. It's fine.
Bye, everyone. Take care.
Thank you. Melanie, thank you. Thank you.